Hi everybody, this is Bug-Ass Reviews, and today I'm going to be doing a review on the Marvel Legends Avengers Endgame Hulk Build-A-Figure. So, Hulk does come with an alternate head sculpt, but I wanted to take a look at this head sculpt first. So taking a look at this head sculpt, I'm kind of torn because I kind of see some resemblance of Mark Ruffalo, but then again I don't. Like from the side it looks like him, but from the front there is just something that's off. I don't know if it's the lip collar or what, but something is off. I do think the smiling head sculpt looks a little more like him. The hair is sculpted really nicely, and they used that print tech to put some gray at his temples right there. And I think that looks really good. I like how they used that there. But, I don't know, I'm not a fan of how it turned out on the eyebrows there because they look really light. But yeah, I don't know, something is just off about the head sculpt. Because from the side, it does look like him. Like, from the side, it looks a lot like him. But, maybe it's the lip collar. I'm not sure. I think that might be it. Maybe it's just the dark lip collar that's throwing it off. Maybe it's because he looks kind of like he has lipstick on. I don't know. But now, taking a look at this head sculpt, this is the one that I think looks more like him. Even from the side there. I think this one looks more like Mark Ruffalo. Because they started making Hulk look more and more like him throughout the movies. So I do think that this head sculpt looks slightly better. But he has a big forehead. So I guess there's pros and cons for each head sculpt. But yeah, I do think this one looks a little bit better. I don't know, leave a comment down below and tell me which of these you like better. I like the smiling head sculpt more. I think it looks a little more like him. But yeah, there's still something off with this one, but I think it looks more like him just by a little bit. So looking at the rest of the figure, he has a texturing all over his body to his skin. And I think that's really good. It's something really slight, but if you hold it up to the light there, you can see it. They also painted some chest hair on him. And I think, yeah, this is the first Hulk figure to have that. Now, taking a look at his lower torso here, I think this is the first figure that's done this. It has a plastic inside to it, and this is a rubber shell that's put over top of it. So as you can see down in there in his torso, it's made of plastic. And then they slipped this like rubbery stuff over top of it. I'm not sure why they did that. I don't know why they couldn't have just made this plastic. Maybe it's so they could make this all the same color and then just slip this over it and not have to paint over top of it. I don't know what the reason for that is. But it does kind of stick out. And it does kind of look funny because you do see some gappage right there. So I'm thinking about maybe gluing it down, sticking a little bit of glue up in there and then holding it down. But there I also run the risk of gluing it to his waist, and I don't want to do that. So it's kind of a slippery slope there. But yeah, it does stick out and it does look kind of funny. And looking at his arms here, I feel like they should have painted just a little bit of hair on his arms as well. But they didn't. You still get that really good texturing though. And you get some veins sculpted in. Now on his left hand, he has an open left hand. And for his right hand, he has a fist. And if you look, this is removable. And that is because the Iron Man that comes out in the in-game Thor Build-A-Figure will have the nanotech gauntlet for him. Speaking of that, the Hulk that everybody was anticipating was in his jumpsuit. This is the look that he has whenever they travel back in time to the Battle of New York. Which I don't mind that. I mean, I would have preferred seeing the Hulk in that jumpsuit. But I just really like this too. So taking a look at his pants right here, they're also sculpted really nicely. They have a nice texturing to them. I wish they would have painted the button on his pants on right there, but they didn't. But the sculpt detail to him looks really good. And then down here on his knees and on his thighs right here, or not on his thighs, on his calves right here, the pants are tearing up, and that also looks really good. You can see they missed a little bit of the mark right there. I think it looks really nice how it's torn, how it looks like it's stretching and tearing. I just really like how that turned out. And they did use like a really, really dark purple to this. So he does kind of resemble a classic Hulk somewhat. since the pants are purple. And then here are Hulk's feet, and he doesn't have any toenails painted on. That's my complaint with most Hulk figures, is they never have any fingernails or toenails painted on. They're sculpted on, but they're not painted on. They should be a slightly different color. So, that's about all to go over with this figure. So now, let's take a look at his articulation. He has a ball-jointed head that can't look back that far because the hair and the neck does get in the way of that. But he can look back just a little bit and down just a little bit. He can look side to side. He has ball-jointed shoulders. They can only move out that far. I wish they could move out just a little bit further. He has swivel at the bicep, double-jointed elbow, swivel at the wrist that can move side to side and up and down. He has a ball-jointed torso that can move back all the way. He can crunch forward all the way. He can move side to side. He also has a swivel at the waist that can move side to side. He can do a complete split. He has ball-jointed hips that can do a complete split. He can kick forward slightly. He can't kick forward all the way. He can kick back more than he can forward. He has swivel at the thigh, double-jointed knee, swivel at the ankle that can move down all the way, up all the way, and an ankle rocker. So the articulation is pretty good. I am going to do some size comparisons here. So first up, here he is next to the first Avengers movie Hulk figure. This was the Walmart exclusive version. And this one is on the Ultimate Green Goblin Build-A-Figure body mold. Actually, the Ultimate Green Goblin uses him, but just for size reference, that's how big he is. And I thought he was a huge Hulk figure, but then I got this Build-A-Figure, and he's not quite as bulky as this one, but he is much taller than this one. Here he is next to the Age of Ultron version. And this one is just about as tall as him, but not quite. Here he is next to the Age of Ultron 4-pack Bruce Banner figure. This is the only Bruce Banner figure that we've gotten, and I wish that we could get a new one because this one looks nothing like Mark Ruffalo. And with the updated sculpting and print technology, I think Hasbro could knock it out of the park with a new version of him. Here he is next to the last Hulk Build-A-Figure that we got, the Thor Ragnarok Hulk Build-A-Figure. Or Gladiator Hulk Build-A-Figure. And this one, with the helmet on, is as tall as him. Without the helmet, it isn't. If you wanted to, you could switch this on there. I'll show that off. So if you wanted to do that, you could. But, I don't know. The shades are slightly different. The ball pegs do match up. So there's what that looks like if you wanted to do that. So there he is next to the Gladiator Hulk Build-A-Figure. Here he is next to the worthy Captain America figure. And he is so much taller than him. I like the height difference on him, though. Like I said, this is the biggest MCU Hulk to date, and I love it. Here he is next to my custom Endgame Black Widow figure. There he is next to her. And finally, for my size comparisons, here he is next to the Avengers Endgame Ronin figure. So now I am going to do the wave ranking. So I'm going to rank the figures in this wave from my favorite to my least favorite. So for my least favorite figure of the wave is Rock Python. He just had no accessories, and I mean, he's a good character to add to the Serpent Society. But other than that, he's just not my favorite figure. Up next, which I figure will surprise a lot of people, is the Endgame War Machine figure. He is in 6th place. Up next, I'm going to give it to 5th place to Union Jack. So he's not a bad figure by any means. But, you know, he's still kind of lower in my favorites from this wave. There he is with him. Up next is Loki. He came with less accessories than Union Jack, but he's still higher on my list because I've waited for a classic Loki for a long time because I just wasn't a fan of the Toy Biz version. So, yeah, Loki is in 4th place. Now we're getting into the top 3. At the 3rd place is Endgame Rescue. For my 2nd favorite figure out of this wave is Shuri. It needs some touch-ups, but she's still my 2nd favorite figure from the wave. And for my favorite figure of this wave, I'm giving it to Beta Ray Bill. He is a huge figure that has some new pieces, and it's definitely an update I've been waiting for. I still would have liked a classic Beta Ray Bill, but still, I'll take this one. This is my favorite figure out of the wave, hands down. So overall, I think the Hulk Build-A-Figure is really awesome. And yeah, this is my favorite MCU Hulk figure so far. I don't know if they'll make the jumpsuit version. I'm not sure if they'll make him. But if they don't, I'll be fine because I love this version. And the figures in this wave were actually pretty solid. At first, I was kind of iffy on some of them. But it ended up being a really good wave with a solid mixture of MCU and comic figures. So yeah, I'd highly recommend completing this wave and completing the Hulk Build-A-Figure because it is very awesome. So that's my review. If you like this review, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.